everybody and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about my controls and why I use them. Now, I'm not going to say these are the perfect controls. I do very much so prefer these controls. They're beautiful. I love them to death. These are the controls. I will never change my controls in Terraria. These are the controls, the optimal for me. Obviously, they're not like... Maybe you might not prefer these controls, but I surely do. So I'm going to talk to you about my controls. I do have some modded controls that I want to show off as well, and some mods that I really do like for controls. But we're going to first talk about the vanilla controls. So let's actually disable the spawn rate. Again, I am using mods. It doesn't matter. This is not a tutorial. So let's disable the spawn so we aren't bothered by things, right? And let's take a look at my controls menu. So if we head over to controls here, we're going to see the first selection. So obviously, use item is mouse 1. That doesn't need to change. Middle mouse is middle mouse. Is mouse 3. I don't know what middle mouse means actually. Mouse 5 is mouse 5. Don't know what that really means. Down is S. Right is D. Up is W. Left is A. That is all fine. Mouse 4 is still mouse 4. Interact is mouse 2. That's all perfectly fine. Don't want to change any of that. Grapple, however, I have side button. Now again, these may not be the controls you like because you may not have the same mouse, the same type of thing I have. So for mouse 5 is my grapple button. Now, if you don't know what mouse 5 is, there are some mouses come with buttons on the side of them. I can't really show you, but some mouses come with buttons on the side of them. Usually two, like two right, one towards the end of your thumb and one towards where your thumb starts more. And the one towards where my thumb starts more... No, it's the other way around, isn't it? Yeah, the one at the tip of my thumb more is mouse 5, I think. Is that what I use to grapple? I don't have a grappler. Give me a minute, guys. Yes, guys, that is what I use to grapple, so we head back to the controls menu. That is the one towards the tip of my thumb, and that is my grapple button. I find that to be very nice because, well, again, we are going very in-depth with why I have my controls the way, in case you want to use them, possibly. So, the way I have it that way is because if I'm walking, let's say, right, I am walking. I don't want to have to take my hands off one of the walk buttons or off of the space bar or something to grapple, because I want to continue walking while I'm grappling. Whereas with the mouse is not being used. You can still attack. This is a separate button. I don't have to stop walking so I can then click the grapple button and then continue walking, or say stop jumping to click the grapple button. I want this to be a function that I can use at the same time as every other function I have for just optimal, just the most efficient way I can use the grapple button is just to have it where it's not interrupting any of my other interactions with Terraria, because this is one of the things you may want to do while walking, jumping, attacking, all at the same time. So while I'm walking, as you can see, I don't have to stop doing any of this, jumping, any of that. I can attack, I can grapple, everything at the same time. It's very nice. So let's head to the next control that is separate. For quick, smart cursor is left control. That's normal. Auto select is left shift. I think that's normal, which is perfectly fine for me. Jump is space, all that's fine. So then we get to this section, which is, some stuff. Escape is normal as well. Zoom in, zoom out are brackets, because I have the plus and minus set to something else for like a mod or something, I think. But these are, don't worry about these. You can set these whatever you want, really, as long as they're not in the way. Depends on how much you use them. So for throw, I have Y. And that might seem like a weird button, like, oh man, that's far away. Well, that's because, to be honest, when do you ever use the throw button? When do you ever, if you want to throw something, you're just going to take it out of your inventory and throw it on the ground, right? You're not gonna scroll over. You're not gonna put it in your. Let's say we want to throw this gel. We could just do this, right? We're not gonna take this gel, put it in our hotbar, scroll over to it, press our throw button to throw it. No, why would we ever do that? No, we're not gonna do that. Also, I recommend putting gel in the ammo slot. Amazing idea, lovely, lovely, lovely. But that's not part of the video. But no, we would not scroll over and use the throw button. So it's Y. It's one of these buttons just far away, not in my way. I don't have to do with it. I still might want to drop something, maybe one day. So I do have it configured. Now, this is where it gets crazy with the potion stuff. Possibly, maybe. So for quick heal, I have C. And for quick mana, I have X. And for quick buff, I have Z. And you may realize a particular order with those buttons, as X, C, and Z are all in a line directly next to each other, directly under W, A, S, and D, and near the spacebar. So I don't know if you want to try this on your keyboard if you're using a keyboard right now, but if you are walking, if you are doing all your interactions all at the same time, right, you are walking all this, you don't have to, to use a potion, you don't have to stop jumping. You don't have to stop, because if you can hold jump and press C at the same time. You can hold the space bar and press C with your thumb. And honestly, even if you are, like, even if you keep missing with your thumb, sometimes I end up taking my finger off D and using that to press C, although I don't like that. It's usually using the tip of my thumb to press the C button, and then use the rest of my thumb, like the knuckle of my thumb, I guess? No, not really. The like, joint in my thumb to press the space bar and then press C, so I can drink a potion. Now, Z, I'm not actually so happy with what Z is, which is a mana potion. I actually think there's probably a more efficient place to use mana potion, as you kind of need to use them periodically if you're going to actually use them in a good manner, like how you should if you're playing mage. But I've never been a fan of mage, and I've never really planned to play mage in Terraria, because I just don't like the fact that you've run out of mana and you just have to stop using your weapon and just wait for something to happen. Wait to use your weapon. I don't like that aspect, and that's why I never have really played mage in Terraria. So, for me, X is fine, because if in the instance that I need to use a mana potion, it's just 1 or 2 usually. But if you are going to play a more main mage class, I might recommend changing, if you are playing vanilla especially, and you have side buttons, to the mouse side button that is closer to the beginning of your thumb, not towards the tip, because that is another thing. It doesn't change your interaction with the world. You can still press it at the same time as pressing other buttons, and it's not going to interfere with anything. For me personally, I don't have it that way, because I don't play mage, and also I have controls in the modded version of the game that I like to configure to the side of my mouse buttons. So that is that button. Now, that's what I have for that one. And for X, we have Quick Buff, which drinks all the potions that you have that are not mana or regen potion, or quick instant health potions. It's not instant health, healing potions. And for that, I have Z. Now for Z is not a press. It's not. You don't need to press Z a lot. You want to be able to press it when you need to, right? So say you're in the middle of a boss battle and you gotta quickly press Z once. You just gotta press it once in the middle of the boss battle. You can't run out of potions. You gotta press it once, right? But it's not this thing like, I need to press it. I need it to not interrupt my interactions because I'm pressing it every 5 seconds. No, this is a button that you just might need to press every once in a while, but you still want it to be easy to press. You don't want it to be like L or something across the keyboard that's far away. You want this to be easy to press to make sure you can quick buff when you need to. And I have it set to Z because S, my finger that I use to put on S, my middle finger, is easily, with the way I have my hand positioned, drops right down onto the Z key from S. So what I can do is I can just drop down really quick, hit Z, and then continue, because the chances of you needing to press S, needing to drop down a platform, is really the only instance I can think of needing to press S, really, or go down a rope, at the same time as drinking a potion. I mean, you can fall if you're on a rope, and if you're going down a platform, you literally just have to press S once. You don't even need to hold it down. So I can drop my finger from S right down onto Z, quickly push that, and resume my actions, and it doesn't interrupt anything at all. I don't think it'd work as well for a mana potion, because you might be going through multiple platforms or something again. But that's why I have it as Z. I've like taken way too much time to try to think of the perfect, like the absolutely perfect controls, and I've been using them for a while now. At least perfect for me. So if we move on, we have Quick Mount as E, and that may surprise you, but it might not, because it is almost the exact basic press, which I believe the normal Quick Mount is R. So the reason I have it as E is because it's nice and easy to press, and it's just right next to your finger. You know, you don't have to move much to press E, whereas R is a little bit more movement. Really not bad, but I have it as E because when you are walking or doing something, if you're in a mount, chances are you're not going to need to press up, or you're not going to need to go a certain direction. I mean, this will interrupt your action. There's not a lot of buttons that I have left to not interrupt my interaction. So I have this as E because generally if you're using a mount, it doesn't happen until hard mode. There's not really a mount, or if you are using a mount, you're not going to be using it very, like, crazily or, like, ridiculously, as, say, the UFO mount, the Cosmic Car Key, that you tend to use while building, because it's just nice and easy to press if you're flying. You know, you just press E, and let me actually get them out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I don't want to just sit here and explain it without doing anything about it. So we get the Cosmic Car key, right? You just press E. It's not that hard. And yes, you do have to stop walking right if you're walking right. But if it's a mount like this, you can just dash or even just walk and then just press E and then just to continue. And if you are holding D, you can use your middle finger from W and shift that over to E, kind of. Or you can just let go of D for a half second. It's not really that bad. It's a mount. You generally don't need a board mounts like very crazily. So I have that set to E. Now, I don't think there's a lot of vanilla controls I have left. Zoom in, zoom out, add, subtract. That's a screen. This is... What even is this? What does this mean? I don't know what this means. I believe that's minimap zooming in. Or no. This is minimap zooming in. That's what I add and subtract that to. I don't have transparency, really, because the transparency... I don't think I've ever actually done this before. I do have it set, apparently, though. Toggle map style, tab. That is the original control. Again... You don't really need to toggle your map style, and when you do, you generally are not going to be moving, so you can kind of just reach over with your pinky, hit tab a few times, shift it to what you want to. The only time you're going to use this really before a boss battle. And now, map. I hate the basic map control. No one wants to reach all across the entire keyboard so they can press M. You literally have to stop what you're doing to press map. You can't reach it with your thumb, you can't reach over with the other fingers. You have to take your hand off all of the keys, press M, reposition them where you want them to, maybe not even correctly. It's terrible. Map cannot be M, and I am no. And again, even if you want to keep walking, you gotta take your hand off the mouse then to press M, and that's even stupid. Like, M is not a good button for maps. I hope they change that in 1.4 as the default, because I hate it when I see people do that. Pet peeves. Now, I have my map set as R. R is quick, it's easy to press, and it's not something you open a lot. You open your map a lot, right? But at the same time, you probably don't open your mount. I mean, you probably mount your mount at the same rate as you open your map, or open the map possibly more. But the map is more... It's not something that you're worried about stopping. You don't need to continue walking while on the map, because if I'm walking and I open the map is just going to move the screen. It's not going to do anything. So as R being a little bit farther away and not easy to press, R is my map, because I still want to press it a lot. It's easy to press. It's still close to the keys that I'm normally pressing, as being R. But as being R as well, it's harder to press than E. And when in the map, you don't need to walk, so you can just kind of open up map, take your hand off, do whatever, and you don't have to worry about repositioning your hands because you're opening the map. And this is why, I don't know if you see it, but I open my map ridiculously quick sometimes. Just scroll out and just move my map just, like, ridiculously fast. I don't know if you see me do it. But I will kind of just, like, zoom across the map to get places. Like, I kind of just, like, swing my mouse all over the place. Now, this is just not even about controls, really. But I just like to move the map really fast. I've gotten good at it, I guess. But, sometimes I just want to pop it open just for a second to see something, you know? I don't really have a good, thing to show why, but I sometimes you just want to open the map just for a second and then, like, zoom in and just, like, and then just pop it off. Also, I don't know about you, but, I don't close map with R. I never close map with R. That actually seems weird to me. When I close the map, I open the map, my hand goes off of the entire keyboard, really, except R. Not really. It kind of, like, goes off the keyboard. My pointer finger to press R moves to 4, and then for some reason my middle finger sits on F1, and then the finger to the left of my middle finger, because it's my left hand, sits on Escape, and I use Escape to close map. And then when I jump, I don't know, I just kind of jump back. It's a really weird thing. I always have used Escape to close the map, and I don't know why. And I don't know why I don't press R. It just seems awkward for some reason. But I don't press R to do that. This is, like, the weirdest video, by the way. Let's look for the new controls. Now, that is all the vanilla controls, and I just find them so very efficient. It's so efficient, guys. I don't think you know. Now, I'm going to actually go to my mod browser, and I'm going to enable some mods. I'm just going to enable my Calamity Pack because it's easier. All of my main mods are enabled on this. So I can just enable this at the same time. And also I like Calamity Controls as well as someone who's really a fan of Calamity. And I'm going to show you a few mods that I have that increase my ability to do things. And now there's not really that many. So I know one is inventory hotkeys. Right here, inventory hotkeys. Simple. It basically adds a few hotkeys to your inventory. I'll show you what I mean. And then for things like Recipe Browser, unfortunately, Recipe Browser isn't working as a mod right now. Tmod updated and it's just not working. But I will show you anyway. I also, let me turn on Cheat Sheet. I have hotkeys for things such as Cheat Sheet. I believe I have one for Louis AFK. That's enabled. And I believe I have one for here. No, there's not one for Hero mod. Let me re-enable here in a second. Platform Helper has a hotkey as well. Things like Vein Mine, those I have things for that as well. Now, let me reload my mods. I'm going to jump back into the world, and we're going to talk about some modded controls. And this is going to get... I actually don't really need to cut anything, do I? This is, like, directly into the world. Oh, no. Have I went into the wrong world? No, this is the normal world, I think. Death count. As soon as I jump into the modded world, it's just like, oh, yeah, mods. This is obvious now. Oh, did I not? I didn't enable heroes, did I? I disabled heroes. Whatever, guys. So, with this, it looks like I've been building because I have that helmet off. I have a lot of crap on me, by the way. Too much crap. So, let's get to this. So, in my modded controls menu, I actually am not sure. My controls like to break. There are some things we need to get to. So, for Rage and Adrenaline in Calamity, again, I'm going for Calamity controls here because Calamity has a lot of controls. I don't know if this matters to you. Actually, let's go about the Calamity controls last, because I bet people care about those least, actually. Unless you're trying to try hard on Calamity and do insane. Let's look for this, let's look for this, let's look for other mods. So, boss checklist. To toggle my boss checklist, I have it as right control. Now, your buttons might not be the same as my computer, but I kind of have all my things menus set to the bottom right of my keyboard. Before the numpad, before the arrow keys, the bottom right of my keyboard, I have like 4 buttons that I just kind of set to all my menus. And I don't know why that is, because there's probably definitely a more efficient place to put them, like maybe the numbers or something, so they're easy to click with your finger. But for some reason, I've always defaulted to just kind of having them over there. And I don't even know how I press them, really. I kind of take my hand off them. I don't know, how do I click them? I guess I just reach my hand over, which is kind of stupid if you think about it, because it's really slow. But all of the modded menus generally aren't used nearly as much as any of the vanilla menus. So you don't really need to worry about them. Also, I want to see this in transparency thing. Can I? Oh my gosh, what? I've never done that before. So you can have... Oh my gosh. I haven't done this before. I think I'm going to be mad at myself. Because this is the most amazing thing. I don't know I haven't done this, because I can see behind the map. I can see what's behind it. I've always turned off the map because I can't see what's behind it. But if I'm... I'm really stupid. Now, let's not talk about that yet. But, yes, I have them all in a line. So, the very right button on the bottom right of my keyboard is boss checklist. The one next to that I have as Recipe Browser. The next one I can't use because it's FN and it's for volume and stuff. And then Alt is pulls up my cheat sheet menu, because if you have stuff like this, it kind of gets annoying, like closing it out and then like closing this out. And then you're like, oh, I gotta pull it back up again. So you gotta pull this back up again. Or even just clicking this gets annoying. So I just have it set to Alt, and I can just kind of click Alt and it pulls everything up right at once for me. Now, Louis AFK, I have no idea how I open that menu. Oh, yes, I remember. Honestly, my menus are kind of just strewn about. There's definitely more efficient places to put my menus, but I don't have them there because I actually had a lot of my menus near my controls, like walking and stuff, but what happened was I ended up clicking them a lot more than I wanted to and opening menus that I didn't want to, and it kind of got annoying. So I ended up moving them to the other side of my keyboard. Now, again, this is definitely more efficient ways. So for me, Louis AFK is the button below to the very right below my backspace bar, and I feel like it can be useful if you use Louis AFK a lot, but as someone who really just uses Louis AFK for the platform builder, let's be honest, I bet a lot of you do. I can't stand building platforms. I just have it set to the right. It's actually right. The backward slash button. For controls, if we move on to the next controls, I have a lot of controls. These I actually don't use a lot of. I generally do, but I didn't enable them because I wanted to change a lot of them. Louis FK right there. Now, platform helper. If you don't know what platform helper is, let me get some platforms here. Some platforms. It basically allows you, I love this mod, to place platforms faster, as it says. So if you hold the platform helper button and place it, it places 5 platforms right here. Now, in Calamity, it kind of run too fast for it to be effective, but it's very useful. Very, very useful. I love it. So what I have for this is, since you can't drop platforms by picking them up and drop, well, you can, but if you're building with them, you can't. So what I have this set to is I just have to put platforms in my inventory, which can be annoying, I agree. But I just hold the right mouse button and then click the mouse button. Because again, it's not interfering with any of my walking controls. It's one of those things you don't want to interfere with because you want to place platforms fast. You want to be able to walk and still hold the button at the same time. Now, what you're saying is, well, why don't you just change this control to clicking your mouse down so whenever you build, it always builds a long platform? Here's the thing. There's a block here. If there's blocks here, it doesn't care if I have a block in the way. It's still going to use all 5 platforms. Even if it doesn't actually place a platform. And also, it works with blocks. So if I had that, I would constantly be placing 5 blocks every time. So I do have it set differently there. So back to controls menu, we have vein mine, which this is exactly what I was just saying. I have this as mine because when do you not want to vein mine? If you don't want to vein mine something, remove it from the whitelist. Which is why the whitelist keys exist, because you want to remove them from the whitelist. So these are what my the 2 bracket symbols are: remove and add things from the vein mine whitelist. And then I just have vein mine as the mining button itself. Where's my items? I have as L because I generally don't use vein mine where's my items very much because I always have magic storage, so I don't really need to look for things, you know. And in the time that you do, yes, there's probably a more efficient way. Maybe it could be T or something, or I don't know. I have a lot of buttons, so it changes a lot. But it could be a more efficient button, is what I'm saying. It could be F, maybe. I don't know. Something if you don't use magic storage, but I would highly recommend using magic storage. Now for these buttons, the inventory hotkeys mod, I don't use a lot of them, as I said right now, but I do use them a lot when I want to. Why is this a different button? Oh, wait, I know what that is. I know exactly why this is. So, this is when I was talking about my modded controls. Mouse 4 is the button closer to my thumb on the side. And this I have set to item 19. And if we look in item slot 19, so this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Actually, it's 11, 12, 13. You get the point. This is item slot 19, and this is slot 20. So in item slot 19, we have the Rod of Discord. I don't want to have to take out my Rod of Discord so I can teleport. So what I do, bind it to a hotkey. That's almost the sole purpose, the only reason I use this mod. Bind it to a hotkey, look at that. Look how amazing that is. Just, bam. Bam. It's so easy. It doesn't interfere. Again, amazing. Now for 6, I have Louis AFK Recall and also this right here. So Louis AFK Recall works without it, but I put my magic mirror here if I don't have one, which means that when I click 6, I use my magic mirror, and also, if I have Louis AFK on, I'm also using this potion to teleport. Now, I believe I have 7 set for Louis AFK, I don't know. Yeah, D7 is recall back. If you don't know what that is, if I go home from here using this, I can click 7 to go back to where I previously was by clicking 7 after clicking 6. It's kind of complicated, but it's part of Louis AFK. And then, generally what I do is I set my pets right here, which they are, but I don't have them. I set my entire buttons list, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 10, or 9, 0. And not usually all of them, but I'll set the pets to 2. I usually have 3 pets, like the main one, the secondary, and then a stationary pet. So I'll have those set as 2, 3, and 4. Or no, I think they're set, yes, they're set to 3, 4, and, yes, 3, 4, and T, I think. No, 4, it's 4, 5, I'm sorry, guys. My pets are usually set to 4, 5, and T. So I can do 4, 5, and T to summon all my pets. And then 3 is an alternate mount, so my alternate mount is usually set to 3. And then change the daytime, so like this slot, whatever I want to toggle as well, is set to usually 1 or 2. And then also something else I want to toggle. So say I want to toggle, I don't know, using this magnet. I don't know. There's a lot of things. Anything I want to toggle, I set that as 1 or 2. So obviously this and maybe the cell phone. So then I'm using slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and technically 7. And then as well, I'm using T as a mount summon. And that is basically all my controls except Calamity. If you're wondering about those, I'll talk about those in just a second. This is going to be such a long video, I'm sorry. I am obsessed with my controls. I just want to kind of let you guys know about them. Why I have my controls that way. And that's a little bit too transparent, unless I'm doing a boss battle. I think I like it, like, not transparent at all. But I like it at the same time not. I'll have to experiment with that. But moving on to the Calamity controls, why do I have a missing item here? I think that's what it's supposed to be. No, it's a nebulous core, right? I don't know. I have a lot of weird stuff going on. But with Calamity, let's equip this. I have some controls, obviously. Which are... So for Adrenaline and Rage, they've updated Calamity to where the time that you use Adrenaline and Rage, you want to instantly use Adrenaline and Rage. Now, I know you have 5 seconds to use them, but generally, you just want to use your Adrenaline and Rage as soon as it builds up, because you don't want to wait. And you just my head going. So, Mouse 1 triggers these, but it only triggers when you actually click the button, not when you're holding it. So if the bar fills while you're holding the attack button, it doesn't use until you let go and click it again. So what you can do is time when you want to use it by just not letting go and then clicking it again with the mouse. And it uses both of them because you probably want to use both of them at the same time. It doesn't matter when you use them. But I have that set because it's so super simple. Normality Relocator is set to mouse 4, which is also the same button that is set to my Rod of Discord. So if I have a Normality Relocator, I just use that as a teleport. Because if you don't know, the Normality Relocator in Calamity allows you to teleport as well with a hotkey. So it's literally the same control, just set to the same thing. Elision Guard, I don't use that. Armor set bonus is V, as, again, same idea as the potion thing. You can hit V at the same time as hitting the space bar. You can activate your set bonus at the same time as doing everything else. The goal of the way that my controls are set up is you want everything, or the most important things. You want the things that are important to you, the things that you want to use without interfering with other controls. You want to set them to things that you just don't have to interfere with the rest of your gameplay. You want to just allow things to flow. You don't want things to kind of be janky and like reaching across the entire keyboard to click map. You want to have everything just be close together kind of, but you also don't want to smash everything close together or else you're never going to have enough keys to press things. So you have to sacrifice certain things that you don't use as much for different controls that maybe aren't as optimal. Astral Teleport, I don't like this. It teleports you to a random location, which you can do anyway once you get to Astral Arcanum. So I have this set to G, and this is for a weird reason. I would set it to F. I would. But let's just talk about why I have it as G first. So for G, I can pull up the menu, click whatever I want, and you're not going to want to teleport like every 5 seconds. We got to teleport to another world, teleport to another world, teleport to the dungeon, teleport. You want to teleport a lot, but it's not you. When you're teleporting, you aren't probably going to be walking. You're going to stop what you're doing, and you're going to be like, okay, I want to teleport to, where do I want to go? Because you have to look at the menu anyway. So I have it set to a farther away key that's still easy-ish to press. And the reason I don't have it as set as F is because whenever I play Overhaul, my button to roll around, like that roll move, is F. And I need a button for that, and I don't want to sacrifice that, because I do like... There's so many reasons. I don't want to... If I have Overhaul Calamity on at the same time, I don't like interfering with my controls, and sometimes I have F set to change the time, and... There's a lot going on. Sometimes instead of 1 and 2 is what I'm saying for my activation for these two, I set it to F if it's something important, like changing the time. So, yeah. That's why I have that. So much stuff going on. And, just actually want to move to here. Oh, gosh. What do we have now? I think that's literally pretty much everything. There are, like, special controls to Overhaul, but they generally don't matter as much. So, yeah, I've tried to optimize my controls and in modded just to be the craziest possible controls, maybe. I think these are, like, the weirdest controls, because I've changed almost every hotkey possible that actually is useful. Like, I think the only one that stays the same is Smart Cursor and Auto Select, which could be changed. And that's, like... Because you're not going to change how you walk. You're not going to change how you attack. You're not going to change how you interact with a chest. You know, you're not going to change that. I think I've pretty... or jump, too. I think I've pretty much changed every other possible control in the entire thing. But, yeah, this is my optimal controls. And also, if you're wondering how I have these set to 1, 2, 3 and stuff, I'm sorry I keep burping. It's very annoying. You can't hear it really, but it's very annoying. The reason I don't have these set to this because the scroll wheel I have is really accurate in the first place, so I don't need to worry about it. And honestly, if you're gonna go to item 9 in your inventory, you're not gonna stop walking. You're not gonna stop what you're doing, so you can press the 9 button when you could literally use your finger on the mouse to scroll. Seems kind of stupid. Like, I can understand maybe using 1, 2, 3, or 4, maybe 5, 6 is too far. Like, I can see using 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1 through 5 buttons to change things in your hotbar, but if you want to get to slot 9, you're not gonna reach over and click slot 9 or click slot 0. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna scroll. Let's be honest. No one uses the numbers to click around their hotbar. Literally everyone scrolls. So, yeah, that's my optical controls. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope this video is not like 40 minutes long. I bet you it's in the 40 minutes to an hour mark. Feels like it's been a long video somehow. But yeah, if you're willing to listen to all my controls and how I have them set up, I guess this is good for you. I've kind of been wanting to make this video, but I didn't know who would listen. And I guess this is the time since I'm not posting anything crazy right now. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So please like if you didn't like it, share it if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!